What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this cold Tuesday. Doing pretty good myself. I'm pretty much sure a lot of you guys have already heard about this controversial situation taking place with Campbell's Soup Company. Okay, we have a former cybersecurity analyst from Monroe. His name is Robert Garza, to the right over here. Okay, he went in for a routine salary meeting with the chief exec, Martin Bali. Well, he's a vice president and chief info security officer, actually. And what he thought was going to be a routine salary meeting turned into a hour-long tirade about, from the vice president here, about the practices and what they're really serving the public with Campbell's, that is. But Robert Garza here, he instinctively said he just hit the record button, when he went to the meeting and everything. Well, he captured some very, very interesting things that Martin Bali had to say about Campbell's products, in other words, which is no secret as far as I'm concerned, because I'm one of them type of people that anything I buy nowadays, I'm always, looking at the fine print as far as ingredients go. And I've been peeped this situation with Campbell's soup, far as the bioengineered and soy and all that kind of stuff like that. Bioengineered products basically is infiltrated all of your products as far as soups, breads, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? It's all over the market. All the commercial goods. If it's not bioengineered, it has monodiglycerides in it. Monodiglycerides are actually lard, derived from pork fat and all that kind of stuff. Bunch of poisons that's out here on the market. But here's the deal, okay? Martin Bali, the vice president, had what he said was caught on tape, calling the products shit for poor people, mainly black folks. You understand what I'm saying? And he wouldn't dare eat it. You see? But with further ado, what I want us to do is check out. I got at least one good video clip about this situation right here. Well, first, before I say anything else, Robert Garza, who recorded this man talking the way he did about Campbell's, got fired. He lost his job, and as a result of that, well, he's filing a lawsuit against Campbell's for, taking his job just because he exposed the truth, basically what it all boils down to. But of course, Campbell's, they gonna stand up and say, well, it was another reason why he was actually fired. But I have a couple video clips. They probably total about 8 minutes, but it's very interesting. So sit back and check this out.
So tonight, new and intense scrutiny for a top exec at Campbell's Soup, who's accused of saying some pretty wild stuff, like that the meat in the soup is bioengineered from a 3D printer, and allegedly going on an offensive and in some case racist rant. It's all because a former employee who's suing the company says he secretly recorded Campbell's VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bali during what that worker describes as an hour-long tirade. We got the recording, and we want to warn you here, it's pretty harsh. Listen.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit? So healthy. Now that I know what the is. Even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at meat. Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
In the lawsuit, the former employee also alleges Bali made racist remarks about Indian workers, calling them idiots. When he reported the tirade to company management, he was terminated in retaliation, allegedly, for complaining about that alleged behavior. Campbell's has not confirmed the statements to NBC, but did say that if they were made, they do not reflect the company's values. NBC News also reached out to Bali, but haven't heard back. Let's bring in Camila Bernal. Camila, this is just what we played is just a little bit of this, right? There's more to these allegations?
There's many more of these allegations, and I also read through the lawsuit, Hallie, and what this former employee says is that this all happened over a conversation about his salary. He says they sat down about a year ago to talk through all of these things, and that's when he began speaking badly about the company, saying things like this was processed food and saying this was for poor people, as you heard there on that recording. And like you mentioned, this goes on for a while, and I want you to listen to more of that conversation.
Everybody thinks that recipes are like crown jewels or not. They're important, but it's the process. It's the process that makes the food. You know, the ingredients are in the best can.
So not only does he talk about the food, but this lawsuit also alleges that this VP went on to talk about employees at the company, and the lawsuit alleges that they're racist comments. Take a listen to those comments.
They couldn't figure out dumb.
So clearly there was no filter during this conversation. The former employee also alleges that the executive admitted to going to the office high on edibles. I mean, again, this goes on and on about a number of different things here. And apparently the former employee reported all of this to his manager. He says that some time went on and he wasn't encouraged to go to HR. And so he got fired. And what he's saying now is that he believes his firing was retaliation for him coming forward and speaking out about all of this, Hallie.
Camila, we talked a little bit about some of what we heard from Campbell's on these alleged comments here. What else is this former employee, this former worker saying?
Well, first of all, I want to go back to what Campbell's is saying, because what they're saying is that they use 100% chicken. They say it's USDA approved. They go over the list and essentially say that all of this this current employee said was false. They also, I want to note, have this employee on leave while they investigate all of this. So he has not been fired yet, but he is on leave. And I want to read part of the statement that Campbell's put out where they say we are proud of the food that we make, the people who make it, and the high quality ingredients that we use. We know that millions of people use Campbell's products, and we are honored by the trust they put in us. The comments made about our food are completely inaccurate and absurd. So again, they also emphasize that the employee who made these comments, the vice president, works in cybersecurity and IT, and so they say he has nothing to do with the making of the actual food. On the other hand, you have this former employee who, of course, is suing, but who also says that essentially this was extremely emotional and really damaging for him, not just emotionally, but financially as well. Talks about being embarrassed and just being put out on the spot essentially for all of this, when he alleges that all he wanted to do was come out and tell the truth. I want to read part of his statement and what he's saying now. He says, this situation has been very hard on Robert. This is from his attorney. He says he thought Campbell's would be thankful that he reported Martin's behavior, but instead he was abruptly fired. We look forward to obtaining justice for Robert. So as this lawsuit plays out in court, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Campbell has not verified the audio. We have not been able to verify the audio, but again, those allegations are really alarming, Hallie.
Camila Bernal, thanks for staying on top of this one for us. Potentially more to come on that. Appreciate it.
That Campbell's controversy continues to grow. Tonight, the company is telling more of its side of the story, and we're also hearing more of that reported conversation that's now led to an executive being placed on leave. Thanks so much for joining us at 6. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill. It's a story that's gained a lot of attention since we first reported it last week, when a man from Monroe filed suit over his termination as an IT analyst. Erica Erickson live with more of the recorded conversation between Robert Garza and the man he says is a Campbell's Soup executive. And Erica, you've heard from Campbell's just within the past hour or so. What did they say?
That's right. Yeah, I just spoke to them and they said that this employee was fired for good reason. More on that in a moment. Let's walk you through this. More information from Garza's attorney. Let's get you caught up.
Yeah, for poor people. Who buys our
The voice behind the now viral rant, allegedly of VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally, now on leave amid an investigation.
We think they should have had this approach when Robert first reported it.
Former Campbell's IT analyst Robert Garza of Monroe speaking with Local 4 last week. Garza says he'd been working remotely for the company's headquarters in New Jersey and met with Bally in person to discuss his salary. Here are a few more snippets of that over an hour-long recording.
Yeah, you like to. You're doing good. I want to say you're smart. I know you're smart, right? Be a little patient. I'm telling you, Campbell's is a good place. They take care of the people.
Yeah, Martin, I need to fix myself. Right? I mean, I need.
You know what? The other piece is, what do you don't wait for. When I say that, like, you're just gonna waste your life away. If you're waiting for a date in the future that things are gonna get better, don't do that to yourself. Honestly.
Keeping the recording to himself at first, Garza says he reported what he heard to his direct supervisor, also named in the suit. That was back in January. His attorney says he was blindsided, fired 20 days later.
They have a motto, like we treat you like family. Here at Campbell's, come work for us. We treat our employees like family. That's not the case.
Campbell's issuing multiple statements to Local 4 saying, quote, "We are proud of the food we make, the people who make it, and the high quality ingredients we use. The comments heard on the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, they're patently absurd." The company went on to say in part, quote, "All of our soups are made with no antibiotics, ever chicken meat." Any claims to the contrary are completely false.
As far as we can tell, they ignored Robert's complaint and instead terminated him. It's just a little too late at this point.
Now, as you can imagine, we had a lot of questions for Campbell, specifically about Garza's employment. We did just hear back. They say, in part, quote, "We do not comment on the specifics of personnel matters, but can share that Mr. Garza's employment was terminated for good reason. He was a Campbell's employee for less than 5 months." If you'd like to read the entire statement, you can go to clickondetroit.com. You can also see some of our other coverage on this story. There's a lot. Reporting live, Erica Erickson.
Yeah,
Back to you.
it really is. Okay, Erica, thank you.
Wow. Look, Campbell's Soup Company went from good to shit. And that's just all there is to it. You let a soup company that's been in business ever since somewhere back in the 50s or 60s, could be further than that, I don't know, but it's fed a lot of people. And now you got, this controversial situation right here with what your own vice president said out of his own mouth. And I believe him. Hell, like I said, it's right there on the can that they use the bioengineered food ingredients. You see what I mean? And like I said, it's damn near in every damn thing. So, what they're doing to Robert Garza right here is bull. And that's all there is to it, man. They mad at him because he exposed them. You get these guys like this Martin Bally behind closed doors, talk all kinds of shit. And we just heard him do it. That's what they do. You see what I'm saying? And the public is oblivious to the things that's going on behind, a lot of these companies and the things that they're doing to the food. You see? So you got the director, external communications company, Officer James F. Reagan, talking about how good we only serve high quality ingredients and all that kind of stuff. Well, ain't nothing high quality about bioengineering. Okay? It's not. And that stuff is messing up a lot of people, regardless of what they say. Oh, it's safe. That's the first thing they always say. Oh, it's safe. No, it's not. No, it's not. That mess ain't safe. You see what I'm saying? So, and like I say, hey, shout out to Mr. Robert Garza for exposing, this company right here, and along with other, places that use bioengineered Monsanto shit, you know what I'm saying, that they put in the food. And you wonder why there's been such a rapid increase in cancer and everything with folks. Young people. A lot of people eating this mess right here that they deem safe and high quality ingredients. Tired of that. You see? And that's just what it is. So yeah. Hopefully, this man wins his lawsuit, and what have you. And look, the thing is this. we as a people are going to start having to boycott a lot of these places like Campbell's. You know, you know. Let me see. I can't think of the last time I ate. Wait, I could have been probably bro 11, 12 years old. I don't know. I don't know if they was putting that mess in there then, but I always thought that Campbell soup was a little too salty. Very, very salty. You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't know if they were even putting bioengineered food ingredient in soups and stuff like that back in those days. They may have had, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I think this is something that just recently started going on since the 90s, maybe. I could be wrong. Could be 80s and 90s. I don't know. But all I know is this. It is a bad idea. Because when they start doing this stuff like this, you know, the food like this is when people start, the increase in sickness is just spiked. Okay? It's spiked. So, like I was saying, we're going to have to start putting our foot down and start asking for better quality of food and get rid of this shit called bioengineering. Okay? Monodiglycerides and all that kind. They ain't got to put this mess in your food. And then turn around and will charge you for a can of whatever soup. A company that don't put this mess in their soup. You know what I mean? That much more than what the one that has bioengineered, so much cheaper. You see? Now you wondering why, like I said, the mortality rate is spiked. And sicknesses and stuff like that. That's all I got on this one, people. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular situation right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, people. Please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.